Welcome everyone to Pogchamps. I'm Alexandra, live with International Master Levy Rosman and the biggest chess streamer on all of Twitch, Ludwig. Great to have you guys. Levy, do you want to start off with your thoughts on Call Me Carson and Gripix match?
My thoughts don't even have to have a place. We're just off. How are we gonna get first of all, Ludwig? We usually see Cutie Cinderella sitting there. What's going on?
Look, I just wasn't the biggest fan of her meatloaf, and I just have slept here the whole night, but I'm ready to commentate some great chess between Call Me Carson and Gripix, which I'm thoroughly excited for.
Okay.
Because Carson hasn't got a dub yet.
Kind of like me and Twitch rivals, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I got there before you, so you can't even do it now.
I thought you did beat Rabbit yourself, which is upsetting because I was going to spend the next 3 hours just roasting your team. But you know what? We'll have to ignore it for now. Yeah. I think he hasn't had a dub yet, and you know that you want to get one at some point, right? He's gone 0-2 every game so far, every tournament match.
He has, and he doesn't have an easy opponent either because Gripix is leading Group A in second. Well, not leading. He's second place, and he's higher rated. So, any strats you think he can go for, Ludwig?
No. That's the annoying thing about chess is that you can't cheese them if they're, you know what I mean? Like you can cheese an 800 if you're 400. I feel like you can't really cheese a 1300. If you're 600, I just don't know how it's done.
He's playing pretty well. Sicilian out the gate, some chances for Gripix to take advantage, but Gripix is super solid. And yes, for the moment, he's not in the lead in this group, but if he gets the 3 points today, he does win it because we saw earlier that Forsen beats Scissors. What do you make of that, Alexandra? Like Scissors going into consolation bracket, Forsen into the champions bracket, what's that going to mean in terms of their chances? Because they're Group A, so they play Group B, which we're going to see later. But you know, Hafu, Pac-Man, easy with aces, etc.
Honestly, it's not the worst outcome for Scissors. I mean, we actually have someone in the call who can relate to making it in the consolation bracket and then being in the top two. So
I would call it smart, ethical,
right?
Live head. Yeah, I think it's a good thing for Scissors. I think he's probably the favorite to win the consolation bracket. I think the only other person will be whoever doesn't make it out of Group C. So either TF Blade or one of those three. But I think he has a really good shot, and that'll be really exciting for him rather than just going there and, you know, likely eventually losing to whoever is in that stressful shit show of a championship bracket. I've never been there, so I don't know what it's like, but it seems scary. I don't like it.
It's definitely intimidating. And even in his match against Gripix, Scissors was playing super well. He only ended up losing in the Armageddon match because, you know, his dog distracted him. But, you know, if he gets a dog babysitter, I think the consolation bracket is definitely looking like a safe place for him.
I was going to ask, so Ludwig made it to the very, very final of the consolation bracket. Where did you feel you ascended the most as a chess player and as a chess professional? As we see Gripix dead lost. He is actually completely lost before I even hear the story.
I think it wasn't until bracket because none of the group stages really mattered. Like after I lost a couple, like, you know, you're guaranteed to go into losers.
He saw it. Sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah,
Ludwig.
You're good. Carson's making 5-head plays. I think we need to call them out.
Yeah,
I mean, that's super impressive. So he just took the bishop on e3 that was protecting the knight on c5. And if Carson follows through, then he's going to be up an entire piece.
Yeah, the only downside is that Gripix will probably play like pawn d4, and then he'll just block up everything in the center. And so Carson's going to have to get his like actual bishop that hasn't moved yet over on c8 out. And oh my goodness, what is going on? Queen flying everywhere.
Was that the right thing Carson did there?
Carson played it correctly.
He does have an extra piece, yeah?
Yeah, he did end up with an extra piece. It was just
a
Oh,
Okay, yeah, well, that was crazy. Hey,
well,
if for a moment you're like, wait, how did Carson get so good?
Oh my gosh. Oh, and now the knight is gone and the bishop has no defense. I mean, he had so much time.
oh no. Well, that's the thing. Carson really impressed me when I watched his match against, was it Forsen? And then he just makes a couple blunders, but you know what? He's warming up and he seems very focused today.
Yeah, he just plays incredibly fast, though.
Yeah, he does. He
That
does.
was like the most game-changing moves, and he did them faster than GripX.
Well, let's take a listen and see what he has to say.
I love this theme, their soundtrack. He just has different changing backgrounds of Minecraft.
Oh man, I was on his main account and he was listening, and whoever he's hosting is listening to serial killer roleplay ASMR. I was very confused for a second.
I will say a lot of retail room in the bottom left of his screen for his notifications to be on his head,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to judge my fellow peers.
He's got an active king. This is very dangerous though for him.
Well, Ludwig, what would you say his best comeback chances are here? He's lost a couple pieces. Is there anything he can hope for?
Again, one of the sad things about chess is there's not a lot of ways to cheese better players, and there's not a huge comeback factor in the game, unless you're dog shit. And unfortunately, GripX close, but not exactly dog shit. I think he just broke out.
I think that's the closest thing Ludwig has ever gotten to a compliment, ladies and gentlemen. Not dog shit. Wow.
Not dog shit. Yeah.
I was trying to like replay that in my head. I'm like, you said close, but not.
I think he's just outside the range. Like if there's a barometer of shit to Hikaru, he's just outside where you probably can't make a +10 comeback on him very easily.
How about myself and Alexandra? Where are we on the dog shit meter?
And let's just move on to what Carson's moves here are. Like, what's the intent of them, you think?
He's just trying to survive here. I mean, he's down 2 rooks. I guess he can try to go for a stalemate and give up part of his queenside pieces, but the chances aren't looking very good.
Yeah, to get a stalemate, obviously all the pieces have to be pushed. Right, all his pawns are taken.
Yeah.
And they're not. And they're really far away from doing that. So I don't know if he'll live long enough to see that happen.
No, probably not. Now, GripX has to be careful. Here, let's just mate in 1.
Well, at least he put him out of his misery, you know, when you kind of see an animal limping around. Just,
okay,
don't let it suffer.
He kind of walked him into his own mate.
Yeah, Carson surprises me because it's so strange. He plays really well in the opening. And I don't know if it's like a little bit of stubbornness, like he thinks like, okay, this guy's a lot better than me, this whole group is better than me, I have no chance. But he was completely winning. Like it's just a confidence thing. If he just paused for a second, took a breath, and then but
I mean, also, I think opening is where you can be most comfortable because you will see it more often. And the deeper into the games you get, I mean, what do you call it? You call it theory, right? Because it's so many different ways it can go. And you stop tracking the movements of the pieces. So I think the less games you played, the less confident you'll be after the first 8 moves. Even if you're winning, you won't know it.
Well, at least if he slows down a little bit, that should help, because even look at the game. He had 8 minutes and a half and he started off with 10. He's blitzing it a little bit too much here.
That was impressive how quickly he lost. If we could change the format to 3-0, I think he'd do really well.
We just got to get him an Armageddon game every single time. Yeah, he should be in business.
I mean, it'll help him if he goes to the consolation bracket, which I think he has to right at this point. When he ends up in consolation bracket, he probably will find himself in Armageddon, and I think he'll be one of the stronger players in that format.
Yeah, what do you think Carson's chances are looking like in the consolation bracket? Would you put him in the top half or the bottom half, Levy?
He can Honestly, with the openings that he has, if he takes like 1 or 2 more lessons and does some puzzles, which is, I mean, that's a big if, it's a big ask. I've been asking Connor and Austin to just like, please, like do 1 hour, just the focused chess lesson. You're going to be unstoppable after that. But not everybody has it in their schedule or in their interest, frankly. Chess is not everybody's cup of tea.
I think he could beat a real threat. I think he could beat maybe even like a Scissors or a definitely Austin or Connor. I think he'll be like Slicker. There's a chance that he takes down a big one, and maybe even goes on to the finals.
Well, if I remember correctly, Critical was up against Slicker to decide who was making the finals.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. In the constellation bracket. And that game was crazy. Like, I remember looking back at that game, there was pandemonium all over the board. There was king walks, pieces flying. So the chances for a winner there. I don't like that Carson kind of faded on his opening expertise in the English. Like, he's trying to build this giant pawn wall.
You don't like his giant pawn wall?
Not a huge fan.
He did push his F pawn though, and you usually don't want to do that. At least he doesn't have any serious weaknesses just yet. So if he finds a way to, develop his knight from E2 and the bishop from F1 and castle, then I'll feel like he saved this opening.
Yeah, essentially when you play this, you're trying to avoid well, at least when you play this with white, you're trying to avoid putting all the pawns on the same color square, because like Alexander just said, not about F3. It's also about all the others. F3 is bad, but you can make it work, maybe. But right now it's okay. Well, they're just mirroring. They're mirroring. Very close position.
Ludwig, when you were starting off chess, did you ever just try to copy what your opponent did?
I'll do you one better. I still do that. I think when you play as black, copying what your opponent does works like every time until they threaten you. Then you just stop. Like if you know when to stop it, I think it's fine.
I thought you were retired.
Well, look, come on, Levy. Even a retired man likes to go down to the New York Park every once in a while.
All right, that's fair.
Play a few matches. But I don't think it's that bad. Man, you guys are the ones who should call me out on this. But I think it's fine, and it's, I think my middle and end game are more important than whatever I do in the beginning, as long as I don't do anything super dumb.
Well, unfortunately, he broke the mirror at a point that is better for Gripex, because now that bishop on d4 is holding Carson's king from castling. And with a move like c6, I guess he'll retreat his knight back to c3, but it's going to be...
retreats.
You think he leaves his knight there?
No, he takes the knight.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he'll activate Black's queen a little bit.
Yeah. But you don't think of that. It's more like, hey, okay.
Oh, actually, Ludwig, you were right. There's no way he moves that knight.
Was crazy.
You called it.
That was crazy.
I'm quite confused.
Admittedly, that made 0 sense.
But I'm so perplexed because he spent 27 seconds on that move. And then...
Yeah, I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, this match actually doesn't affect whether Carson will or will not make Constellation and Championship bracket. It is purely just a game, because he's already 0-2 in his matches, that will help him, 1, get tournament experience, and, 2, just help him get another match in. And so I don't think it's too fatal if he's not playing well. Maybe he's trying to work on speed, or maybe he just is more aloof and understands that this guy's going to be way better than anyone else he plays for the rest of the tournament, which is true.
Maybe.
This will be the best person he plays.
Should we listen to Gripex?
Yeah.
I feel like he's got the fireplace going.
I do win a pawn at the end, but let's just castle first.
The way he's toying with Carson.
Now we
Looks
check.
like Scott Disick.
But then he goes back, right? Maybe here?
Who?
Scott Really?
But what
really?
does check do again?
Hang on, I'm looking him up.
Okay. Who mega lol Scott Disick.
Scott Disick and he's on TMZ. That's the kind of media you consume, Ludwig.
This is like a world-renowned,
And play
you know,
here.
man.
Takes.
It's, you know, maybe he's not known for the right things, but he's known.
Well, I feel like Scott Disick would also have this satanic fire background.
Doesn't work, no.
Yeah.
It almost got me. It actually looked very real. And then I realized that there's a giant stock logo watermark right there behind him, and it's not real.
Nothing gets by you, Levy.
Levy's a quick one.
It looks really good though. I mean,
It
wow.
does look pretty
I'm
good,
gonna
yeah.
go for the check here. I think it's.
I guess this is also an advert
Something?
for StockX or whatever the company is.
Well, it
I would
looks.
say, sorry, just to cut you off, just a quick analysis. It's kind of close to the fire,
Alright,
so it would be very hot. Anyway, back to you, Alex. What were you thinking about the game?
Well, I was just saying that now we see the issue with Carson not castling early.
have a
He
good
just
move
never
here?
ended up getting the chance. And I think that's something a lot of Pogchamps participants fall into when they just take their time too long with development.
Yeah, I mean, game 1 and 2, right? His king went out into the center of the board,
Yeah.
which is not a great place for him. And it just makes it really easy for your opponent to win.
And one thing that confuses me about that is I feel like every coach in the first lessons tells their student, castle the king. And then the students just don't do it. Ludwig, is this something you ever did in Pogchamps?
Boring. Resident sleeper, castling, cringe. Rather would move up, cool, strong, Chad Knight.
You're not helping their case.
Wait,
Cool,
Ludwig.
strong,
Knight?
Chad Knight gets to move. Leave the boring, cringe-ass king in the center. He's fine there. He'll be fine.
Okay. So, do you move the king into the center or just leave the king
I
completely?
don't. You don't touch the king. You move all your cool Chad pieces, and then they threaten your king, and then you're like, uh-oh, and then you have to move up because it's
Okay.
too late.
Well, Carson is bringing that Chad energy, the way he's just, you know, super
He's
focused there. He's
chatted
like,
out.
I don't even need to be here, but I am.
No, I think he does have to be here. I don't.
Well,
I guess
actually,
maybe
he
not.
does have to be here for contract.
True.
Thank you, Levy.
Listen. Our legal team is. He could have tried to skip. It didn't. It's one of the reasons we were featuring the match earlier. You know, scheduling is difficult. You got all these different. I gotta tell you, though, look at Carson. He is vibing right now.
Is he listening to a banger?
I don't know. He just looks like so stoic and at peace.
He looks
Well,
like
let's
he's
take a
pretending to be a
listen in.
statue. Yeah.
I don't even care if he's not saying anything.
Shout out to Wing Chazar.
At least he's trying to go for an attack here. Maybe we'll see some pawn. Oh, not that pawn, not the D pawn. We don't want to open up the king even more.
I'm not joking. I aspire to have this level of just tranquility.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. That did not.
Huh?
Okay, that meant it broke him. That broke him a
What
bit.
does that mean?
Oh no. Does he realize?
What does that mean? Means you're in check.
Oh.
Discover check.
If I move my rook, then I lose. I see what's happening here. Whack.
Well, I mean, not.
It's illegal.
Holy
Yeah,
shit,
it's
what is
not even that
happening?
you lose.
Wait. Am I in check? Oh,
He's
I'm in
gotta go to
check.
the right. That's the only move that he has.
I forgot what that meant.
That's some high level analysis. Is that? Can you do it in land chess? Can you make an illegal move and then lose? How does that work? Does your opponent have to stop you?
They usually tell you made an illegal move. If it's a tournament game, and sometimes they have like deductions or some kind of penalty if you do it, and then they
It-
just reset the board.
It's
Okay.
actually really lame. Yeah, in slow chess, you get a 2-minute penalty. Like in a 90 per player game, 90-minute per player game, you get a 2-minute penalty. I think the second time, according to different countries, is different in the States. you can be forfeited, but like in a scholastic tournament, they will never forfeit.
I think
like,
you should straight up lose.
I think so too.
Is that crazy? That's like hype. It means you found something that they didn't see, and then they made a fatal mistake on the bat. I think you should be able to capture the king.
Yeah, I think so too. If you make a mistake,
and you
that's it.
can in 5-minute chess in the US. If you capture the king, then you usually win, right, Levy?
Yeah, or like an illegal move is the game is over. There is no 2-minute penalty. You pause the clock and you're just like, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. Why don't we get to capture him? Kill the king. Every time it's like, oh, all for the king. So many people died on the way to him, and then he just gets what, parlay? I don't understand it. I want murder, death, blood.
Well, I'm gonna phrase the email to the U.S. Chess Federation slightly differently, but yeah.
Just send him a clip of Ludwig.
Yeah,
New patch when
blood. We're going all French Revolution on their dumbasses.
I have this problem a lot. When I was doing scholastic programs, I was like walking around the room, seeing kids playing and giving feedback. Kid would run up to me like, "I took their king," and I'm like, you can't do that. Like, it breaks my heart to say that. I can't just make up a rule.
Yeah. So basically everything you set up, child, all this pawns and knights was for naught. You don't actually get to capture it. Your
opponent gets a second life.
Over. Yeah. That we just stopped the game now at the fun part. My bad. My bad.
Aww.
Alexandra, your thoughts?
Well, speaking of stopping the game at the fun part, it looks like Gripex is very close to checkmating Carson here. I do like that Carson has been putting in his best effort. That's a very active king. That isn't just, some patrician who sits at home while his troops do the work.
Yeah.
King's on G3.
Washington-esque.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Well.
Oh, no.
Now it's almost checkmate after the king moves. The pawn on G2 is hanging.
Why are we oh-noing? What's oh-no? Oh, no.
The king is about to get checkmated, Ludwig. He can only go to H3 or H4. I guess he can also go to F4. Never mind. There are a few options, but they're all bad.
Well, the queen was also captured. But
yeah,
if you just looked at Carson, you would never know that occurred.
Because there's a Minecraft in front of him? Or?
I could believe that right now he was playing Minecraft and not chess and winning at Minecraft.
Oh.
What was that?
At least he won a rook back and Gripex didn't see the checkmate.
Yeah.
That was weird. But, I mean, your most active piece cannot be your king. It's chess, okay? It's not...
Carson is a content creator. He is creating a new story here for the king on G5, and he might die an early death, but he's doing it for a good cause.
Yeah, there's a few ways to finish this off. The computer has found checkmate in 6. M6. No, I have not found a mate in 6. No.
I mean, I think. Go ahead, Ludwig.
I'm just saying saved. I mean, look, the computer now is down to only -20.
Only -20.
That's great news.
Yeah, this is tough.
I think the more human way to win this is not to go for the checkmate and just go collect all the pieces. And it's good that Gripex is doing that because he only has 4 minutes, so he could potentially sit too long, try to find a checkmate, and end up getting in time pressure.
That move that Carson just played might be the best move that he's played of the tournament. Well, no, last round he played knight takes bishop, and then bishop takes knight. That was
that was really incredible.
Good. That was genius.
Best move of this game, though, I'm sure.
Yeah, like defended by the pawn, attacks the rook. Now Gripex doesn't. He could just take the pawn. He doesn't really need the rook, but let's see what he does.
He's making Gripex think. And also, Carson has managed his time a lot better this round. So now he has 6 minutes and a half. He didn't play, the entire game in 2 minutes. At least there's progress.
That's a nice move. Is Carson going to take the knight or the rook?
Take the rook. Find yourself a back rank.
He's going for it.
Unfortunately, it'll be discovered check.
Yeah. Okay, run the king. I mean, there is a faint hope of a back rank checkmate.
King F4. Okay, that works as well. Again, the computer is saying mate in 2, but it doesn't seem like Gripex is out there searching for a mate.
Where is this mate in 2, by the way? Like, I'm really doing my best. Knight G2, King G3. What are we looking at? Where's this mate? Queen F5. What?
Okay, Queen F5 doesn't work.
Queen D6? Oh, it's Queen D6, King G5, and then Queen F6.
Oh, that's very cute. but tough to see. Although he might take d6 anyways and then find it because there's no other move other than king g5.
Oh,
All right. He took the rook.
okay. The back rank. The back rank. Imagine.
Now it's not even mate because at least the queen can sacrifice itself. Oh man, but it's there.
Okay, he's just got to move his king over and then, you know, put the rook on an open file and pray for back rank. I'd be impressed if Carson does end up going for that tactic, even if it doesn't work. At least it shows that he's going for a last-ditch effort to win.
Yeah.
Try. Oh, that's it. There goes the last ditch effort.
That's
Now the
Sag.
king. Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, hey, it was on the board for a while.
It was.
And he has made this game last longer than it likely should have.
True. Did he make it last longer, or did Grypex just decide to play with his food?
True. Well, you get to credit both. Even if it's not Carson's doing, he gets the credit for it.
Fair enough. Well, Gripix, close to 2 minutes on the clock. Levy, do you think there's any chance he gets in time pressure?
No. No.
No.
No.
That was a
Yeah.
weird place to move.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I was going to say that there's a chance that this happens because Carson gets out of check by moving his king rather than also trying to block with pawns, and that's going to get you into trouble. Like on bishop f5, he could have maybe tried to block with the pawn. But now, you know, Gripix can blunder here. Okay, no, he's a machine. It ain't happening. He's not making a mistake.
But Carson is seeing the free pieces. And again, like Ludwig said earlier, he can think of this as a practice round because it wasn't going to affect if he made it into the championship or consolation bracket. And he's carrying out the end very well here. Ludwig, when you're playing in Pogchamps, if you lost a game, but you felt like you played the second half well, did it change your mindset at all?
If they were better than me and I lasted to a certain move, I'm still popping off. I just call him Turbo Verge Nerd and call it a day. You know what I mean? I played pretty good against Box, who was a Turbo Verge Nerd at chess when I played him. So that made me feel good about my performance. It didn't make me lose confidence in my ability.
Did you score higher than him yesterday in Rivals?
I did score higher than him in Rivals.
Good
so
man.
Was it his turn to call you a Turbo Verge Nerd?
I was a Turbo Verge Nerd at Fall Guys. Admittedly, he could call me that, and I'd have to take it.
Wait, there might be some stalemate chances in here.
Bishop on a8 is kind of hard to...
Yeah, he's going to have to give it up, which is hard to think of even.
Someone in the Chess.com game chat said, Grip's rating is accurate. He cannot see a basic mate. Okay.
Wow.
I mean,
roasted.
You gotta trash talk a little bit, right? Like you gotta bring these
as a chat member.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? The game chat on Hikaru versus Magnus Carlsen was all 800s saying that this guy's past his prime, this guy's not taking it seriously. They're all acting like disappointed parents.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't imagine.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. That's mate on the board. Oh!
He didn't see it. Just wait to see what those 800s are going to say in Chess.com chat about that one.
It's still mate in one. Queen h5 is on the... It's just mate. It's mate. Oh my gosh.
Not anymore.
Oh, Hafu's laughing somewhere. I mean, she's like, this guy's supposed to be the favorite along with me. Come on. He can't even find mate.
Well, he can find it. He's just going for the 2-queen strat. Nothing wrong with that. It's clean. He's already perfected it. Why not?
Yes. Very nice.
Much less beautiful, but it did get the job done.
A win is a win. And that's going to put Grypex with 7 points in his group. Forsen currently with 6. So he'll be making it to the championship bracket. He was already going to do that, but he played very well, even if it wasn't 100% accurate.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get the players in, right? And we will take a quick break, talk to Gripex. I'm gonna try to hype him up, get him to talk some trash, because the last matchup of the day today determines who I think his playoff seeding is against. I believe. I don't want to spoil anything. So quick break, and we'll talk to the players. Welcome back, everybody, to Pogchamps' first match in the books, and we've got our players here. I'm going to start with Ludwig, actually. He wasn't a play, but he said he was going to be mean, so I'm just going to turn it over to him.
Look, I'm not going to be mean. I'm just going to ask a couple of questions to our competitors. Carson first.
Yes.
You're now going to consolation bracket. Just tell me how you feel about your play in the game of chess. Do you feel good? Do you feel like you know what you're doing?
No, not generally.
Okay. I mean, did you feel like you did anything good today? Do you know what you did that was good today?
Not at all.
Great. Well, you did some good things. We'll look at them in a moment.
Okay.
Gripex, you are going to move on to the championship bracket.
Yeah.
Do you feel confident about winning the whole thing?
Well, I always like to be confident, so of course I'm gonna win the whole thing. But yeah, there is some competition at least.
You do, and I think it'll definitely be tough. There were a few mates you missed. I don't know if you knew that, and you're just trying to get the easy one. And
yeah, I missed a few. I could feel it, but
don't worry about it. No stress. Yeah, just try to get the.
Carson got under my skin somehow.
Did you know that in the first game?
I have a thing for that. I get under a lot of people's skins, I think.
Well, Carson, you were winning in the first game.
I was.
Well,
when?
Of course. So I'm gonna pull it up on the big screen. You did
why
something.
Do you say of course? Like I'm supposed to know that.
Shut up, because it says it on your screen, Carson. It'll say plus.
Where?
Well, you played into a line. Yeah, you took a bishop, he took back, and then at the end of everything, you've got 3 pieces. You got 2 bishops and a horse.
Clean.
And you were just winning. Grip, did you know that you were just busted here, like for a couple moves?
I saw him finding moves I just didn't expect at all, and I was just so impressed by his play in the first game.
Either.
This was incredibly 5 ahead of you, Carson, and you had the lead, but it was only for about a turn because your very next move, you decided to move your rook onto the E file, which was unprotected, a hanging piece. So as soon as you had it, you kind of threw it away. But you had it. I mean, what your line was insane. If you look back at your line, basically you threatened the only piece that was protecting and then made him have a hanging bishop, and then you took it.
You played the computer move, the computer move, the computer move.
Did you know you were doing this?
No.
Yeah. So, okay, Carson, here's the thing, man. You're going to go to consolation. You're going to losers bracket. It's just an inevitability. It's how it works. But you're better than a lot of people there. All right? I'm not saying you're the guaranteed one to win it, but I'm saying you can easily beat people like Connor and Austin. You have a great chance of beating people like Cutie. You can even beat Scissors. So here's what I need from you, Carson.
Oh, I know I can beat Cutie.
I need a dub. I need you to show. I need a dub from you in consolation bracket minimum.
You're being very kind.
I'm not being kind. I just see it. I sees it. I looks at it, and I knows what's going to happen. You're going to get a dub. I need to see one. I need to see one. Just make it happen. All right? Because you're making great moves, and I think they're intuitive, which is pretty insane. I think this is the one thing I'm going to say is it was really impressive how quickly you lost the first game. And not because you're bad, but just because you moved so quickly. It's like you spent zero. You had way, way less time used than Gripex, who won the game. I think you took 1:30 off your clock. That's impressive. That is an impressive thing to lose a 10-minute game in 1:30. So you could definitely draw it out.
Bored.
Yeah, that is a problem Cutie has. Her solution was bringing hot Cheetos into the room. I didn't foresee this. I don't know if you guys have any experience, Botez or Levy, if there's a way to entertain people while they're playing the game of chess.
Well, what I used to tell my students when they would play too quickly, also they were 7 years old, was to sit on their hands in between moves and try to at least count to 10.
Years old thing?
Wait, hold on.
It did feel like an interesting preface qualifier there.
Every time I come on this stream, I just feel like I'm getting shit on. I'll be honest.
Well,
look, fun.
I'm sorry, Carson. I didn't mean it like that. I mean, Ludwig just was here.
One lover host, and you.
Yeah, ever since Alex and Jay Schlatt got together, Jay Schlatt's rubbed off. He's like Jay Schlatt's toxicness. It's so obvious, man.
Alex, I'm happy to get rid of Minx too. Don't get me wrong, but geez. Okay.
Like Gripex and I missed out on some good gossip, but we'll get filled in later.
Yeah, we'll fill you in, guys.
And listen, here's the redemption arc. Carson, you need to win the constellation bracket, and then you need to drop some hot fire about like the show announcement. You know, so I've been seeing on Twitter some big moves. Something's gotta happen. That's gotta be the path.
I about farts on
No. You see, like that.
He does
have
do
to-
that.
All
His fart tweets do good too. I wish
bro,
my fart
those
tweets do not do that good.
numbers.
They do numbers.
I mean, you just don't have the magic.
I don't have it. I wish I could tweet about a fart and pull 50K likes, but I can't. I can't do it. But either way, gentlemen, thank you for your game today. Gripix, obviously, good luck in the championship bracket, Carson. Hopefully you see a dub in the consolation. And
we'll see.
And thank you again, boys. Thank you.
Good game, Gripix.
Yeah, good games, man.
It was fun playing.
Yeah, it was.